It's time for Amazon Bedrock. Can anyone guess that what is Bedrock by now? Right. So it is a fully managed service that provides access to FMs is basically nothing but foundation models from third-party providers and Amazon itself. Right. So fully managed services, I have already told you that we need not to bother about underlying infrastructure or other things, right? So we can go there on AWS console. We can go to Amazon Bedrock and we can start using foundation models for different purposes, right? Whether it is third party provider or whether it is Amazon provided. So by now, again, in last slide we just in quiz we just talked about this someone named Amazon 20 Titan, someone Amazon Stability, Anthropic, right? All these are Amazon Titan is native to AWS, built by Amazon, but others, all these are companies basically. Some of these companies, I mean, all of these are offering different models in different modalities. When I say modality, modality can be textual, right? It can be image also, or it can be multimodality. Same model can be used for both the tasks or more than that. So this is about Bedrock and benefits. It provides model choice, customization, retrieval augmented generation, agents also. It provides us the capability. Use cases also, I will not spend much time on this. Text generation, virtual assistant, and many more. You guys are already knowing that. So now, one thing which now it's time to log into AWS console. You have been familiar with it by now. I am assuming that you have logged in, and here if you type Bedrock, right, you will see Bedrock service. You can add it to your favorites, which will start appearing at the top here. You can click here Amazon Bedrock, and this is the easiest way to build and scale generative application, right? So this is the uh, this is the list of features which it provides, right? So if I click on overview, so these are the foundation models. That is AI 21 Labs, which is Jurassic 2 series, Titan from Amazon, Claude from Anthropic, Stable Diffusion, right? Command by Cohere, Llama 2 by Facebook or Meta, right? For different use cases, we have Playground for chat, text, and image use case examples. Here we can browse examples also, right? Here interactive demo, right? Hands on lab 3 hours. This also can be tried on. Learning course 1 hour, right? So by following this, basically, what I'm trying to say is that if you go to Amazon Bedrock, you will have enough material for you to start your journey using Amazon Bedrock. So let us see foundation models. This is explore and learn, then build and test, right? We can have custom models. We can customize our model. That is fine-tuned model, right? What is fine tuning? Basically, to tune a model based on our own data, for financial data, for your students' data, for research papers data, publications data, whatever it is, right? Whichever domain you are targeting, that can be done using this. View fine-tuned models, if we talk about, so right, so far there is no fine-tuned model in my library. So I can fine-tune a model using this link, right? Select a model, name here, job configuration, and all those things. And it will ask me input data, which can be in S3, right? Or hyperparameters and all those things, because that is the training concept, which we are not going to discuss in this session. Let us use these playgrounds to have this, right? Chat, text, and image. Open chat playground. Let us see, right? And one more thing. you might not have access to all the models or some of the models. So here at the bottom left, model access, if you click here, model access, you will have to request access for these models, whichever you want to use. Let us say AI 21 models you want to use, Jurassic 2 Ultra, Jurassic 2 Mid, right? Amazon models, Anthropic, and all those. Using this manage model access, you can click these check boxes, whichever you want to request access for. And here, once you click on save changes, some of these models will be means these providers will be giving you access immediately, as soon as you request, within 1 minute or so, or maybe less than 1 minute you will get access. But here Anthropic wants some use case details submitted, right? So here what I have done, which in case you are desperate to try Anthropic, right? So you can click on this submit your use case button. Right now in my case it is already submitted, and you can provide a description of your use case. You can say that for education and learning purposes, right, teaching purposes or self learning purposes, then access will be granted within, I think, 10-15 minutes or half an hour or so, right? Or they are not convinced with your use case, they will ask for some other information. Right, so that is it regarding the access. Now if you see here examples, these are examples, 33 examples. Now whatever we are talking about, right, I'm talking something, you are also saying something, right? uh, so this prompt summarizes a meeting transcript into the action item assigned to each person in the meeting. We are talking to each other over chat, right? This is called a transcript, meeting transcript, right? So we want to summarize it. Let us say I'm asking you something to do, and you are also asking something to be done. Like, for example, you are asking for attendance, right? um, uh, Attendance or PPT for yesterday's session, if I recall correctly, right? In the beginning someone was asking for that, and more or less something like that. So it has the capability to generate that kind of uh, um, summary out of that, right? So this can be tried out. Now if you remember, temperature setting is 0, top p or whatever, right? So same way, this is another model, and so on. Providers, these are some of the providers. AI 21 Labs, it provides these models. Jurassic Ultra, right? What is Jurassic Ultra is used for, ideal for complex tasks that require advanced explanation and comprehension, including summary and more, right? So these are different providers, these are different models. So let us try some playground, right? Let us select some model. Why don't we select this model itself? Apply. Tell me about tourist places in India. Summer. Tell me tourist places in India which can be visited in the months of March, April. So So see, there are many beautiful places in India which can be Rajasthan, Goa, and all. If let us say, if I increase the temperature and try to generate the same thing again, right? It is again representing the same thing. Maybe we can reduce this, or we can try with different settings here. Length, how much at least? Let us say we. I am saying the response should not should be in 100 words latest max. Load examples, if we see load in playground, see it has long conversation and it is generating the summary of that, right? So this is a summary. You can see that it was a long text, but now it has uh, articulated that summary very well, right? So this is how we can use it. Same way, text, text also we can use some model. So here, the workshop is the GenAI workshop is very good, right? Or generate a sentiment from the below given text. Right here, I'm saying context or text sentiment. So this way, I think we can run most of the positive, right? If we let us say give some examples here, some of the examples are given for your consideration, for your response. So we can give some example here, right? Like text and sentiment, and same way text sentiment, text sentiment, text sentiment. So can you tell me if I have given these many examples, text what will be? Let us say the workshop was not good at all. It is negative. The workshop was um, hands-on, demo heavy. I liked it, right? So this is positive. Someone will say that the workshop was average or workshop something like that, and it is basically neutral. We are giving an example of all of these. The workshop um, needs more. The workshop was fine, however, needs more duration, let us say, right? So it is basically neutral kind of, right? So then I can say again, run it, right? It can say positive, right? So now tell me one thing, one question I have given three examples here, one two three. What kind of prompt technique it is it I mean, I will not name those, right? Otherwise you will get a hint. So I don't want to give a hint here because it's very, I think it should be easy. It's few short only, right? So basically, I want to ensure that at least some of the concepts you are able to recall even after this workshop. That is the whole intent. Now, image, again, select a model. So if you see, here are only two models. In chat and text, we had multiple models, but in image, we only have Amazon stability, right? So uh, we can use stability, right? Stability one, high quality in virtual. So let us use it in play. And by the way, playground is free. You whatever prompt you want to give it to your application, you can come here and experiment here, right? So that you are sure that this is how what I want to do, right? So let us say generate a high resolution image of India flag, right? So it is being generated. I have given, I'm not sure why it has taken India flag like this. It is showing. Right. Any idea that why it is given like this? Or it is off. latest Indian flag. Indian country flag. India country flag. Let us see. And this is playground only, right? So I am amazed that why it is showing like this, right? Or if you want to give, let us say, a reference image, let us try that also. Though I've not tried. Where is that? So here I'm uploading a reference image. I've just downloaded it from net. Not, still not sure why it is behaving like this. Or we can load some examples also. Create an image, load in playground. Sri Lanka tea plantation. This is the by default prompt, which is an example. So this is how it can generate, right? So maybe I'm not giving the right prompt. That's why it was not able to generate a flag, India flag image. Anyone who tried and got that image successfully? That is a good question, Monica. That if these images are used in any paper or anywhere, right? That IP rights, intellectual property rights will play, right? Will it be plagiarism or basically? I think you will have to read about the usage guides of that particular model, right? What does those model provide? For example, so if we go here, learn about um, more about, it will take you to this AI 21, right? So here it they have mentioned about usage policy also that right. So that way, I think that should answer your question. So it is varying from uh, provider to provider. Basically, it is not. I mean, I cannot give you a standard answer because for some models it will be different. Some other model it will be different, right? So you will have to check that particular thing. So that is about Bedrock. Any question on Bedrock? There are knowledge bases also which we can create, like create knowledge base agents also we can create who can talk to by selecting a foundation model, right? We can give specific flow that this is how an agent should respond, uh, right? There, those things can be done here. I'm just sharing one link with you guys, and I will quickly walk you through this link so that you can do it during your lab time, assessment time, or right, assignment time. Sorry. So please note that this is not an AWS event. So this is we have to we are doing it in our own AWS account. We are not provided any setup by AWS. We are creating our own setup. That is one thing which you should be aware of, right, while doing hands-on. So you can ignore this part, AWS event setup, right? So, but you should be requesting access. I would prefer you request for this access before going to lunch, right? So that once you are back from lunch, you have your access and you are able to do these demos. Repository download, code samples. Basically, what you have to do is if you're running the workshop on SageMaker Studio, so this is the kernel setting which you will have to do, right? And one more thing, which is very important, by the way. So once you type SageMaker here at the top, similar way, in a similar way where we type Bedrock, you can bookmark it and directly click on that link also. That will also fine, right? So in order to do this workshop, which I just showed you, I have pinged you the link also, right? Uh, so maybe you will have to create a domain, SageMaker domain, right? When I click on domain here on the left hand side, you here I have one domain created, but you will have to create a new domain. Without domain in SageMaker, we cannot do anything. That is one thing which you must be aware of. Domain is a prerequisite. So what is domain? Domain is basically a kind of logical workspace, right? It differentiates different users, different use cases, right, from each other. So right now it is quick setup domain. Once you do that, here you will see, once you click on create domain, you will see two options. And please note, I think session is getting recorded also, but still uh, you will have to note down these options, right? Until and unless you have been following along. I'm assuming you are on Amazon's SageMaker. Click on domains, click on create domain, set up for single user. For labs purposes, you can use this option. Set up for single user. Click on setup. It will take some time for you to get this domain up and running. Once this domain is created, you will see something like this. Inside this, right, there will be one user which will be created. Once you click on domains, I'm again repeating this step. Domains, select this domain, right? You will see this user profiles, environment, and all those things, but we are bothered about user profiles. Here, click on studio, this studio. Once you click on studio, so I'm sharing the new tab now. So once you open this, you will have to, you will see multiple options here, right? You can go to home, right? You can click on jumpstart and other aspects here. And please make sure that you are in North Virginia region. We have launched this, getting started and all those things. Click on this Jupyter Lab, right? So right now I don't have any Jupyter Lab. You can say that create Jupyter Lab space, or you can click on this Studio Classic. Click on this Studio Classic, right? And you see this is also going to take its own time, around 5-10 minutes to start. You will see it has given some name, Studio Classic. Its status is running, it's private, and I can click on open here. Once I click on open, now I'm going to share another tab. Now it is the basically step-by-step process. Now I will go back to that workshop link. One thing which I would like to share with you is that here in launcher, you will see multiple things, right? You can, so here if you see, this is image data science 3, right? And kernel is Python 3, instance is T3 medium, no script, right? So I can see that. And so what you will have to do is git clone git repository. Here you will have to give git repository URL. Where this URL is given, I'm sharing, you will have to copy this particular URL, this URL, right? So, and please note that this URL, you can, this is the command for terminal prompt, but once you go there, once you go to this path here from code, please copy this path dot git, the path with dot git, copy it, go back to your console, paste it here and clone. Click on clone, right? Once you clone it, it will show you something like this, right? Um, this is the repository. Now inside intro, you go to Bedrock, Boto setup 3, and here you will have to run these commands in order to continue working with this workshop. Right now, again, I'm going back to this git clone, right? So you have to clone this and IAM policy. If it is your own account, I think this should work. No need to create a policy because you are an administrator of that account. Once you are done with this, I mean, you can start practicing. I'm going back to Amazon site SageMaker. I will give you a quick, uh, overview of this SageMaker, right? So once we go to Amazon's SageMaker, there are different options, right? We can see getting started, wherein we have to create a domain I already mentioned. In production setting it will be different uh, settings altogether, because production for an enterprise or for a company, right? So different users, different roles, different settings are required. So domains are required, role manager, maybe here using so SageMaker roles itself, right? We can create a role here. So that is one thing. If I go to Jumpstart, it is if you see here Jumpstart, I click on foundation model. This is relevant to uh, AWS or other third-party providers foundation model which they provide. We can see view model. We can click here and we can see its documentation, right? Self-deployable. We can view code. We can open notebook in Studio, right? We can click here. It will open Studio notebook. Which profile do we want to use? User profile, right? So that is all about that. Governance, model dashboard, hyperpod. This is again new feature from AWS. Ground truth and all those features are there. Means for training, we want to train different models. Processing jobs where we can track uh, different training jobs which we have started, right? And deployment also we can do using this SageMaker itself.